Right, all right, all right. It's well lit as I need it to be. All right, all right. Mr. Ryan here, your therapist. Trying a little bit of a different setup here tonight. I actually ordered a second tripod. So I started back and forth between my home. So I'm able to have the TikTok stream and the YouTube stream both on the tripod. The cameras are pretty much the same eye level, so it's pretty much the same shot, just a little different angle. Super stoked about that. It's good to have technology working for me instead of against me today. It's a good start today. Yes, try to get some of that action going. All right. My name is Mr. Ryan. I am the user therapist. Welcome to yet another meeting of Pittsburgh chapter of the Second Act Church of Agnostic Hope and Wonder, where we hope for a better tomorrow while wondering what the fuck is going on. I am also a licensed professional counselor, LPC, who operates his own private practice. Currently still just me, but hopefully that's one of the things that's going to be changing here in the new year. This is my weekly live stream that I have called Mindfulness Power Hour. I jokingly refer to it as the Mindfulness Amateur Hour, as I've been really using this time in this space to get comfortable behind the camera, to get comfortable being up the center. Right? To really trying to find my voice, my passion, really trying to identify what it is that I want to do in this space. Right? A big goal here is to promote mental health awareness, right? To challenge each and every single person out there to come across the street, to take that notice, to take that time into themselves, right? To take that time into themselves, invest in their mental health, activate their mind, right? Walk out the door. Right? My hope is this stream can serve as an hour-ish distraction from all the out there and help us recognize and remember and become aware of what the hell we're doing here, why we're living, I mean, why we do, and how if we take better care of ourselves, right? If we take the time to invest in our self care and our mental health, good things, awesome things. Oh my God, I'm really good at that. Get through the whole way through the intro, and then all of a sudden, I realized I have forgotten the microphone for the YouTube stream. Beep, beep. So hopefully, we're doing good there. Um, what's interesting about tonight's Mindfulness Power Hour is I have a big announcement. I have some big news, things I've been working on, working towards for a while now, and it's coming to fruition, right? One of the things that I've talked a lot about is that by the time I get to this time on these Thursday evenings, after being playing therapist all day long, is that I am tired, I am exhausted, uh, that it's not quite what I want, right? That I am spent by the time I get to this moment, right? So all the things that I've thought about, all the stuff that I wanted to talk about, right? All those things just kind of vacate the brain space, right? And I don't end up doing and saying and presenting the things that I want to present, right? So my brain is spent, right? So my thought process has been for a while that maybe, just maybe, I need to shift this tire, I need to shift this stream to the morning, right? That I need to do this more in a morning show, right? Um, and that's part of the big announcement today. Is that is going to come to a realization, right? If current plans hold. Now, this is the thing about tonight's announcement, right? Is I'm trying to not give away too many specific details because those details might be changing. Right? Things are in a state of flux as we're finalizing the plans and all that stuff. But from the way things currently are, starting in February, starting in February, this will become a morning mindfulness power hour because I am signing up as a member at I gotta see if I can pronounce this right, at the Atitha Studios. I got to work on the pronunciation, make sure I got it right. I got the backstory. It's from Bangladesh. I can't even remember what it means. I got the whole story this week when I went on a tour. Yes, I think it's the Atitha Studios. It's in Sharpsburg. I was just there for the wellness fair that NC Spiritual Healers that Mackenzie Check just put on. And it is just an incredible space. There's so much activity going on. There's so many other artists there. It is just a really, really awesome space with amazing vibes and all that. And because I'm going to be able to sign up as a membership there, right? I get access to all these different art studios, all these different art programs. And so one of the things I'm going to work on is adjusting my schedule so that this live stream will now be able to happen on Thursday mornings. I still be able to keep it weekly. It does look like I'll be able to keep it live as well, right? Which is huge because I really like the live aspect, right? Um, and because it's going to be more of a professional studio, we're going to have higher production quality, things like that. Doesn't mean I'm not going to record stuff here in my own office anymore for the socials and that. But this kind of stream, we're going to up the game a little bit, right? We're going to up the game a little bit there. The other part of that announcement of working with that Atitha Studios is because of that professional setup, because of that membership and the access that I'm going to get, I'm going to have a lot more time and again, that production quality, right? To not only do this live stream, but I'm going to be recording podcast. That was the other thing that this stream I really wanted it to turn into, right? I really wanted to find my voice, figure out what it was that I wanted to say, right? And record some podcasts, right? Because, right, like I have a lot of knowledge, I have a lot of expertise, right? I have a lot of that going for me. To make it a mental health thing and segment it up and have right, I can do that. I can do that. I am stoked to be able to be partnering with that Atitha. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think I got it right. I'm really excited to partner with that studio in Sharpsburg. I make sure I tag them in all my stuff and all my videos, give them all the love in the world. That'll be starting in February. That looks like when I'm going to get started on. Um, so yeah, so we're going to be making this into that morning live stream that I've been wanting to do. We're going to have access to record podcasts and all kinds of other cool art stuff, right? I'm super stoked for those. That's going to be a huge step forward, right? And I think what I'm really excited about is shifting to one, right? At this time of night, I want to be done with this. I want to go home. I want to hang out with my family. I want to be done being a fucking professional, right? And so to move this all up to the morning and still do the same kind of stuff, right? Be able to do the same thing, but hopefully with a larger target audience, a larger support network, right, of in-house artists and things like that. That will hopefully help share the hell out of everything, comment, and all that, right? I really hope it'll be able to help me as a presenter, as a podcaster, right? Because the goal isn't so much to make you hear with this kind of stuff, right? It's to host the workshops, the public speaking, the motivational speaking, right? To teach the classes, right? That's what I really want to do. So I think having a space like that where I can have a more organized approach, right? Where I can spend some real time crafting what it is that I want to say, how to say it, when to say it, and then be able to have it recorded on professional equipment with other professionals around. I think that is just going to be absolutely huge. I really, really do. I am super stoked for it. Super, super stoked for that announcement. That is just going to be huge. It's just absolutely going to be huge. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Um, I think that is just going to be one hell of an opportunity. And I have to have at least a 3 month commitment to that membership. So that'll give us, February. See if I can count my months there. February, March, April. We'll do those 3 months as a kind of a test run to see if I get any more traction, if I get any more viewership, right? If I get any more participation out there from all in. That's the other goal about just doing that live, right? Is I want participation, right? I want people to get my chats, talking this, talking that, let me know about their self care, right? I want that collaborative feel. So hopefully up in the game there, with a little bit higher production quality, a little bit more of a real studio feel, some of the backing that they're going to be able to help me provide. I mean, it should go well. So that's one of the big announcements, right? Because I think that's what's cool. And I've been really working it and trying to find my groove, right? So I have a few different announcements today. Uh, so that's one big announcement, right? That this is going to shift from an evening live stream to a Thursday morning live stream. The replays are still going to be available, right? I'm still going to make sure they're out there. People can watch them at their leisure, right? Watch them on the TV in case they can't get on here during the day, right? More podcasts, more things like that coming, right? Um, there's two more announcements. I have three tonight. The other announcement is that I have gotten booked for a monthly mindfulness meditation meetup. This is going to be at Safety Space in that wonderful herbal witchy store down there ran by Jess Salerno. That's going to be happening on the last Monday of every month. I just realized I never confirmed the time on my flyer with her, so I don't know if it's going to be at 6, 7, or 8. I gotta see exactly what time that meetup's going to be starting. That's going to be happening on Monday, the last Monday of every month. I'll be down there at Sage and Space if we can. We're going to be doing what we do here, much live and in person, right? We're going to have singing bowls for sound baths. We're going to do different meditations, different mindfulness practices, right? Probably going to bust out my song. It's going to be an awesome, awesome monthly workshop down there at Sage and Space that last Monday of every month. But the way my schedule works, being on council, the first 2 Mondays are already picked up. My council meeting, that third Monday is picked up by planning commission. It works perfectly with my schedule, so that kind of workshop in on a Monday basis, right? So that every month at Sage and Space, there'll be a mindfulness meetup there. So that'll be an amazing rep, right? Amazing monthly practice there. Throw in the live stream and the podcast and stuff. And we're talking a lot of different opportunities to get good at this presenting, to get good at leading meditations, to get better at teaching people about their mental health and the different things that they can do to help themselves, right? I'm super stoked about it. I think that in-person meetup is really going to help generate buzz and people to show up for things like this, right? Um, so we have the Atitha Studios partnership, right, where I'm going to become a member at, so we can upgrade our production quality and do bigger, better things with what we're recording and how we're recording it, right? We're starting a monthly meditation mindfulness meetup in New Kent, right? The last Monday of every month. That is huge, right? Flyers and all the details for that will be released here very, very soon. And then the third big announcement, the third thing I want to share with all Yins guys, and this one is still, I think, out of the three announcements I have tonight, This one is the one that is the most hands. Uh, there's a lot of details still being worked out. They don't have a lot of final ideas and this and that with it. I'm in the process of hiring two different therapists to work with me here. I need to work with them and kind of decide what it is that they want to do, what it is that they want to go, and how they want to participate, right? Uh, so this is definitely the one that is in the most flux, right? But for the third big announcement of everything I've been up to, right, everything I've been working at, is what we're going to be starting is some sort. Again, details are sparse. We're working through it, right? We are going to start some sort of emotional regulation, mindfulness, meditation, programming that is going to be part of a club, right? Kind of like a membership idea. Um, and that'll be a weekly stream on Zoom, right? And that way, again, with that collaborative nature, right? We get people able to sit in the Zoom room and have our cameras on and conversate and talk and get after all things mental health. I think it's going to be a wonderful thing. It's going to be taking this year and focusing it a little bit more on the mindfulness, on the self care, right, on those coping skills. This has kind of become more of a video log, where since I haven't got the traction that I wanted and the guests and all that, that I kind of get to talk and do whatever the fuck I want, right? And I'm kind of using this as kind of mark where I'm at in my career, right? The whole is years from now, I can turn back to these live streams. Oh man, remember when? Right? So this Zoom group will be a little bit different of focus and will be much more group therapy. Right? It'll be much more of a therapeutic model, where there is, yes, teaching and learning and things like that, but a lot more sharing, right? A lot more opening up. It's going to be a paid membership, because I wonder if one of the issues here is it's just free, and people don't make it a priority, so they take it, they watch it, they when they can, but maybe there's not enough investment financially from people to make it here all the time. So we'll see, right? We'll see if the membership idea pans out, if starting that kind of club works at all. I think it's an amazing idea. I think I'll be able to price it very low, very affordable, especially starting out. I think it is something that could be, very, very useful for people, and do more than just kind of whatever this is, right? Have a more targeted approach. Uh, Again, make it very much more group therapy oriented, right? So yeah, big announcements this week, right? I have been really, really, really working hard, and figuring out where to go with this, what to do more, how to up level, right? How to take this to the next level. It'll be, believe it or not, I don't know how I'm only at 24. Uh, I must be counting wrong, or just didn't do that many of them last year because we were doing like every other week stuff. But we're approaching a year of this live stream, right? We're approaching a year. I mean, sitting here showing up almost every week, and putting that good juju out in the world, wanting to help people, to motivate people to do better. Being committed to that idea of changing the world one positive interaction at a time. We're almost at that year mark, right? So to have an opportunity to kind of formalize the approach, up level the production quality, work with an art studio that this is what they do, to help me with the networking and the marketing and all that. I'm pretty stoked about it. I think it's a real way to take what we're doing here and do more with it, right? And the point of this is that there's only so many people that are going to make it into my therapy office, right? There's only so many people that I'm going to be able to see for outpatient therapy, right? I can reach so many more people on these platforms, right? I can help so many more people if I can get this stuff to pop off and get this mental health awareness out there. Get my take on what it takes. My take on what it takes. That's funny language, but what I feel it takes to have good strong mental health. what components I believe it takes to have the resiliency, the mental fortitude to handle life's bullshit, right? So I think it's just going to be an amazing opportunity. We're talking that monthly meet up in staging space the last Monday of every month. We're talking full paid group therapies, most likely going to be on Wednesday evenings, right? So that's 5 reps a month. Throw in the Mindfulness Power Hour live stream. We move into the morning on Thursdays in February. So that'll be 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus that meet up is 9. That's 9 opportunities to present meditations and mindfulness and coping skill demonstrations every month for at least 3-4 months. I mean, that is a lot of opportunity to hone my skill, to hone my craft, to get better and better at presenting, right? And that's not including the 2 meetings a month that I get to lead for council that are on TV locally and live on YouTube forever, right? Is my duties as council president. So there's a lot of opportunities to get in front of the camera, challenge my fear of public speaking, right? Just continue to develop my strengths, my skill set, and continue to do more to heal the world, right? So I'm excited. We talk about self care, right? That's one of the big things I like to start this hour off with, right? Is what has our self care been looking like? What have we been doing for our self care? I love to hear about that. I love to talk about that. I think all of what I've just described has been my self care lately. Has really been helping, me to motivated to take care of myself. Right? Not done the workouts the way I wanted to. I did get a work squat day in today, but it was the first squat day since November. Not good. Not good to take good workout squat day. I'm going to be so sore tomorrow. But I think this live stream stuff on Thursday just gives me more of a time. That time in for myself, more time to write, create, research. I just think it's really, really, really going to help take this shit to the next level. Right? I really, really do. Um, so yeah, I mean that's really what tonight was. I mean, so excited about the live streams and the podcast memberships and all that. That I don't really have a whole lot else to say or talk about. Um, you know, battling the flu, and then for my birthday last week, I got cold. Right? So my birthday was still pretty awesome. Right? Friday, I did drive out to Cleveland for a Todd's Memorial Show with John Walton of The Awakening and everything. Couple other dudes, I forget the names of the bands right now. But we went out to Cleveland, the Eastern Ballroom, see Todd Snyder's music live, and a memorial kind of set up. That was cool. He's such a wordsmith, with such songs, so many lyrics to it. See other people try to perform those songs, struggle with it. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. It's pretty interesting. It kind of shows the technique and the talent that it took Todd to perform and sing those songs, right? Oh, that's my buddy Aaron there on the TikTok. What's up, Aaron? Uh, Saturday for my birthday, I did well, I don't think it was 8 hours, council training where I got to learn about the responsibilities of an elected official, the whole bunch of newly elected officials. Yeah, that was fascinating training that I really enjoyed. That was awesome. And then I went to Preserving Underground weekend, right? Valentine's Day weekend. It was a whole metal fest. Amazing, loud, rock and mosh pit tour. Them doing the weird hardcore arm swinging thing. So watching people get popped in the face. And we were getting ready to leave. That was got a ear infection last week. This chick is leaving, holding her face, right? And there's just blood just everywhere. And when we're leaving, there's an ambulance and she's getting tended to. So that was a pretty significant eye injury. But just a lot of fun, man. I like that kind of music, hardcore metal. It's very, very interesting. It can definitely help form that self care, right? To get that aggression out. That was a good time. And then Sunday was family dinner day. That's what it was. Me and the wife, we woke up and we cleaned our kids' bedrooms. We worked really hard to get them cleaned up as fast as we could. And then we took a nap. We went shopping, and then we took a nap, and then we made dinner because my eldest came over to learn how to cook. So that was Sunday. It was an amazing birthday weekend. Monday, my wife got a tattoo. That was really cool. Right, always fun hanging out in a tattoo shop. Right, tattoos are badass. Uh, and then Tuesday and Wednesday she was homesick because that's how this month has gone so far. Uh, Today I had a fun daddy daughter day. I had to take my daughter to the dentist, and then we hung out. We got plenty for lunch. Back around the mall. We went to the Sky Zone. Take self care, make no investment, do good shit. Really good stuff. That is for sure. But as I said, I am outside. I am ready for this stream to become a morning stream. But before we go there, I do want, as always, to work on those coping skills. Right? Work on that mindfulness, work on those meditations. Work on helping people understand their mental health and how they bring it. Right? So one of the newer series that I'm working on to see whether we like it or not is called Reading with Mr. Ryan. And because there's all these awesome psychological psych books, counseling books, theory books, all these awesome things that I read, and I think some of them could really help us understand the world better. And really get us thinking about life in ways that we really understand. And, I think one of my favorite books in that realm is this book here. It's called Understanding Reality Therapy, a Metaphorical Approach. It's written by Dr. Robert Wolferding, big player reality therapist. If you don't know what reality therapy is, Google it. Dr. Glass came up with what we call that theoretical orientation. And it's just, again, it breaks life down into basic needs and identifying the basic skills and things like that. Right? I think it's just a phenomenal way to try to understand the world better. So, being that there's so many amazing metaphors in there just to help us better understand life, being that this book was written in the 80s, right? This is from the 1980s, right? I think it's wow to think about the time period that it was written in versus where we're at today, right? And how many of these are actually like spot on, right? That are still very accurate. They still hold a lot of weight, right? I think it's a wonderful thing. I really, really do. So one of the things I'm working on is to read, right? Read different selections out of here, the ones that I find most knowledge, right? So as part of tonight's Mindfulness Power Hour, we're going to read a little section out of it. This one is called Take the Hill. It's been said that in the old army, when the sergeant told the troops to take the hill, they followed the order without question and proceeded to take the hill. Glasser, 1972, has described the world before approximately 1950 as the civilized survival society, in which people followed rules and laws simply because such behavior was the norm. Couples stayed married because divorce was less acceptable and not as widespread. Externals seemed to govern human behavior more completely than during the subsequent decades. In present society, the identity society, people are more conscious of their psychological needs. In current Western civilization, the survival need is of less concern than the identity need. People are more interested in who they are and whether the world is satisfying to them right here, right now. Thus, they are less controlled by externals. This explains how reality therapy, a theory and method that emphasizes human needs and internal motivation, has gained support and is widely practiced. It is based on principles congruent with this identity society: internal motivation, free choice, personal responsibility, self-determination, altruistic behavior, etc., etc. Even the U.S. military has attempted to incorporate the values and infrastructure of the identity society. There are equal opportunity and drug treatment programs. There are family counselors and management training, college degrees, and doctorates to be gained while in the service. I once asked a chaplain who had never seen a battle how the military is different today than it had been in the past. His reply was this: we had the old military, we had the old army, the new army, and this damn thing. The military here is a metaphor for all of society. When the sergeant says take the hill, often troops want to evaluate the advantages and disadvantages of owning the hill before they decide whether they will freely choose to take it. Interesting shit there. Okay? And I love that this was a book that was written in the 80s, and it was already kind of picking up on the difference in society, where we're moving away from this collective idea and caring what the collective thinks and what society thinks, and focusing more on our self identity, right? And I think it's fascinating that they were calling out the identity society in the 80s, considering where we're at now, 40 years later, right? Isn't one of the issues right now in today's world the rugged individualism, right? That idea that only me and me matter, right? Instead of that collective, right? Instead of working together as a group, right? And I find that fascinating because, in other parts of the world, countries are called states, right? That's why it's the United States of America, right? That we recognize that instead of being our own individual little countries or states, united, we have more power, more oomph, right? We can do more good. So, in our own name as a country, we recognize the importance of collectivism. We recognize the importance of working together, but yet all we can do is focus on the individual, right? That's a problem. That's something that we need to work on. It's something we need to address, right? So yeah, that is going to be the reading with Mr. Ryan segment that we're going to see more videos come up with. And again, I'm beat. I'm ready to get out of here. I want to go. Can't wait to turn this stream into a morning opportunity with my brain is so bad. Uh, but again, I want that mindfulness. I want that coping, right? I want to work with people on those wellness strategies, right? So for tonight's coping skill demonstration, what we're going to do is do a 10 bell salute, right? If you're a fan of wrestling at all, what a 10 bell salute is what they do. They ring a bell 10 times to honor and memorialize somebody who's passed away, somebody who's no longer with us, right? It's somebody who continues to have a Todd Snyder sized hole in his heart and is now dealing with Bob Weir passing, right? The last of the singers of the Grateful Dead. My musical heroes continue to drop, and it's tough. It's both, and then there's always personal stuff. There's always friends and relatives. I don't know who you have out there that you may have lost recently, but this is one of my ways of grieving well. Right? We are going. I'm going to ding this wonderful singing bowl here 10 times, nice and slow. While we do that, we're going to work, take in those breaths, right? Check in with our senses, see where we're at. We're going to work hard to invoke that mindfulness, right? That we're going to be listening to the bell ringing, not thinking about the grocery list that we have or what's going to happen at work on tomorrow or the snow we might get on Sunday, right? We are going to sit and take those deep breaths and just sit and reflect and think. And if you have lost somebody, think of them. Think of the good times. Think of the memories. Think of the stuff that makes us put a smile on your face. Let's keep them alive. Let's breathe well here today. Uh, and that'll be our coping demonstration for today's mindfulness time. So again, we're going to take a deep breath. We're going to be checking in with our senses. We're going to be listening to the tolling of the bell, which is in this case the Tibet signal that I have. I figured if I like it enough, I'll get a bigger one. Right. And we're going to close up shop. Okay? So let's take that big deep breath in. Let's focus on breathing well, normalizing, remembering those who are lost. For me, that's going to be Todd Snyder, Bob Lee. All right, here we go. We'll do this 10 times. All right, it's a good time tonight. I think I've done what I wanted to do. I made my big announcements of the upcoming podcast partnership with the Tiflet Studios in Sharpsburg. I made the announcement about my mindfulness meditation monthly meetup on Mondays, staging space starting at the end of February. I shared the preliminary details, very, very basic in nature, of the upcoming membership club program, whatever it is that I decide to call it, coming up as well. So there are definitely big things on the horizon. So thank you as always for your support and love. Thank you for tuning in and checking this out. Hopefully, when we shift this theme to a more of a morning mindfulness mental health talk show, up that production quality and stuff, that we'll be able to attract some more viewers and things like that. So that is enough out of this for me. I'm closing up here today. I'm getting the hell out of here, going home and hang out with my wife and kids. Thank you guys so much. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.